What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Gooncast. I'm joined by the usual goons, Alex, Brandon. What's up?
What's up?
What's up, man? How you guys been, man?
Been eating like a fat ass.
There was a plane.
There's a plane.
Just when we decide to start, but yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Eating as a
Like a fat ass.
Why? What you be eating, man?
Had some dim sum yesterday.
Oh yeah.
What you have? What's your favorite dim sum?
What's my favorite dim sum?
Yeah,
The sumai.
shumai.
Oh,
Oh,
had
shumai.
Peking duck too.
oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
For dim sum?
Damn, y'all went expensive.
Yeah, bougie.
Yeah. Yeah, shumai's great, dude. But my favorite is the feng jiao
Feng jiao was feng jiao.
or the
The chicken feet.
chicken feet.
Oh, yeah, dude, that's pretty
the
good.
red bean.
Oh.
Not red, black bean, red
Oh, the,
chili paste marinade,
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
braised, I guess.
I like the spare ribs too, like the black bean ones.
Oh, okay. I don't really usually get that.
Oh.
Yeah. But
But sesame balls though.
sesame balls,
Like, I
they're
like them
decent.
balls, you know?
Yeah. I don't really. Their sweets are okay. I mainly go there for their savory stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, salty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
That's good. You just had dim sum just yesterday?
Yeah,
That's it?
random ass people.
What do you mean random ass people? Like they're complete strangers. You just sat with them and you just ate with them,
No,
or they're like friends of friends.
my friends
Friends
of
of
friends
friends.
that I
Oh.
didn't meet.
Like from our previous podcast, Brandon wanted to do activities.
Yeah,
and
do activities, people
meet
meet
people
people.
that way. So this is his first step.
First step to
Yeah,
change.
So he went out hiking with
How's-
friends of friends.
How's
and-
that?
It's cool. It's mentally draining to engage all the time.
Doing small
Trying
talk
to
and
do
shit.
small talk with them.
Yeah. How's your? What do you?
Hey,
work?
what do you?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah. Like, what do you work?
What do you
How
do?
is it?
How do you do? Well, how do you do it?
Yeah, it's like, and then they ask you like, well, what do you do? And then you're like, how's your job? And you're like,
And I'm like, I
just-
feel bad
I don't
about
do anything.
Yeah. They asked me about hobbies. I was like, oh, I just play video games, you know. I was like, shit. It's just so.
What's your hobbies? Video games.
I was just playing, I play Halo Infinite the other day,
But then I bet you said, I'm getting into photography.
Oh
Did you
yeah,
say
yeah,
that?
yeah. No, I
Oh, you
forgot.
did it?
No. I'm not into that yet. That's
Oh,
why.
okay.
Oh, yeah,
I thought you would say you're trying to get into
Trying
it.
to get into
Yeah.
it.
You said you bought a camera, right? Or not?
I didn't buy it
Going
yet.
to
Okay.
Black Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. Motivation, inspiration. All right.
That's
all right. I
that's
like
the
it.
theme of today's podcast.
Today's podcast.
Yeah, that's the theme.
Determination, power.
Yeah, whatever The Rock said.
Whatever the rock says. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Alex. How you been?
I've been
What you
good.
up to?
I haven't been doing anything.
Get money, fuck bitches.
You didn't do anything.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I have to.
We play Halo
Retrace.
Infinite.
So I bought my second booster box for
Okay.
my card collection. Right. I mentioned before that I was trying to do some collecting, and this month they released a new set that I like. There's some cards that I want to hit that are kind of valuable. So I bought a box again from the same place, and it's going to arrive hopefully by the end of this month.
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
sweet.
shit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a video on that, just to have fun.
Cool.
Hopefully I get something
Hey,
good, but
you know what we forgot to talk about?
what?
Beyblade horse racing.
Oh yeah, that's our new hobby.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, every time we're gonna be like at our
Yeah.
friend's house,
yeah.
we're gonna play it, dude, and bet.
Yeah, so we just watch like a Beyblade tournament that people did
do, yeah.
on YouTube, and we just bet on which Beyblade wins, and whoever loses have to like take a shot or something, or
Yeah,
drink in general, take a sip.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah. It's actually pretty fun. We should do our own actually.
Yeah. We should.
We should. I'm like, maybe we should get together and have a little
You only need 2 blade blades. You only need 2 blade blades.
No,
No,
we're
wait,
thinking
hello,
about
people.
everyone
Everyone
pick
gets
their
their own
own.
Beyblades.
build their own, and then we have a tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no point of just having 2 and then that's it.
You have your own unique Beyblade.
Yeah.
Elementary all over again. All right.
No, Beyblade is actually pretty complicated.
Yeah, it's pretty legit, yeah.
There's a science to how it spins and what you put on it.
Yeah.
right? We saw one where it just hops around, like it's cork, I guess. It's like it just hops.
I'm gonna get one
It's
of
kind
those.
of useless,
I'm gonna
but
get one of those illegal components to trip up your Beyblade.
Yeah,
Where it opens up like the little hooks.
yeah.
Oh.
There's another one where it's built like a tank, where you're just like
Yeah, it looks like a
the
mega
center
bus,
of
yeah.
gravity is really low and like it just doesn't move, but it's defensive. It's not for offense. So there's actually it's pretty complicated. Yeah.
One day you'll learn me.
It's pretty interesting. Like, think about it.
It's interesting.
Everyone build their own.
Yeah.
And then we get together one day and like have drinks, food, and like
Let it rip.
fight it out. Like,
Let it rip, boys.
yeah. But it is like childhood all over again. So, yeah.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like next month or later next week where events will start happening.
Yeah,
Millennium. I'm also going to an LA trip, so.
That'll be exciting.
I'm excited for that.
Oh.
But so far, just
Nothing
work
much.
and
Yeah, work, chilling,
Preparing for
stonks.
stocks. Yeah. How about you?
it. I just celebrated my girlfriend's birthday yesterday. We just ate at her house. We took quite a long time to make dinner though, because there was a lot of food.
What you make?
We made so the main entree was steak, and dude, the steak was like an inch thick.
That's the nice steak, though.
Yeah.
Did you just cook it in a pan or?
No, we used like a grill on both sides, and then we just put it into the oven to
Oh,
Oh, okay.
so you seared it first, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you
yeah.
put it in the
Seared
oven.
it.
yeah, and then
Interesting.
we made mashed potatoes, gravy, of course. Let's see what else.
This is the
Some
whitest
corn
dinner ever.
cheese. right?
Yeah, it's
Some
pretty
corn
it's pretty
cheese.
Americanized. I think.
Super American.
It's pretty good. I
That's-
mean, you're eating steak, so
Yeah. It's like we're preparing basically for Thanksgiving, and it's just like leftovers that we're gonna use for Thanksgiving, basically.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
It's a good. It's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
celebration, right?
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Pretty fun, pretty
yeah.
low key,
Yeah.
and you got hungover.
Yeah, I did.
You didn't even drink that much.
I didn't.
Times have
The
changed.
times have changed.
I just don't drink that
Yeah, I
much.
think that-
Yeah.
Means
We're getting old, and
Old
it's also
man.
the mentality.
old man in a young
Yeah.
man's body.
He just doesn't enjoy it anymore, So
No, it was all good, and then like I just wanted to drink more because I want to get the money's worth. The wine was expensive. It was like some expensive
That's
wine.
me at every restaurant, bro.
I went to the sushi, all you can eat.
Yeah.
This guy here was.
Dude, I need my money's worth.
I mean, it was worth.
It was worth,
It
yeah.
was good.
It was worth, and then you
I could
ordered
do without the last
more.
two, but
10 out of 10 didn't yak.
that was worth. I was good too, but the last two was definitely more alcohol because
If it was worth it.
yeah, that was worth.
They gave us more
I
alcohol.
felt like they were just trying to kick
because
us
they were
out.
trying to kick us
No,
out.
that for sure. Yeah, no,
Because we just kept ordering.
because I'm trying to make them go bankrupt, bro.
Yeah, they probably poured like I don't know,
Like a quarter,
2/3 are
a
all-
quarter of a handle, maybe.
yeah. So I don't know. It's good.
It was good, pretty good, right? All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Nope.
No.
Nah, not from you.
All right. Well, today we're going to be doing a book review, basically, of Atomic Habits by James Clear.
This is our very first episode of
You can hold
this series.
Book
I
review.
guess.
Yeah, series.
Book
Well,
review. We all like
The
trying
book
to
was
read
good,
books
yeah.
and get into
Try to
it,
get into
and
it.
self-help books, whatever, and we really like it, and we think we should bring it to you guys.
Yeah, it stood out to us.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
might do more of these, but it takes us a while to finish all the
We're just
books.
not very avid readers.
Yeah.
but-
It takes us some time to read.
But
and
we did read everything, all three of us. Or you
I listened to the audiobook,
listen
yeah.
to it, and we got some notes on the computer, so just to reference.
So yeah, today we're just going to be talking about the book and how it helps us, and yeah, we'll just
Our takeaway.
our takeaway. What we're since it's a habit book, we're gonna talk about like the bad habits, good habits, what we want to do, why we're reading this.
Yeah.
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 So I'll start how this book introduced to me. I read Power of Habits. Basically, it's mentioned in this book. The Power of Habits. I don't know if you remember Power of Habits in the book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you mentioned it.
Yeah. The author basically mentioned the Power of Habits, like their method of changing habits, but it's more. This book is kind of like a simplified version of it, basically. And I read Power Habits, and I didn't really like it. So I asked one of my friends what she recommends, and she's been reading a lot of these like self-help books. You met her at the gym, Alex.
Oh, yeah, last time, right?
Yeah.
It was her. Okay.
Yeah, it was her. She was going through like a lot of changes because she just graduated from college, didn't know what to do, have like a lot of experience part-time, right? But she really didn't know what to do. She has a psychology major,
Yeah.
so she doesn't know what kind of field she wants to do. She doesn't even know if she wants to continue
Her master's. And
her masters or even get into that field. So she was reading a lot of these self-help books. So I asked her, it's like, oh, what kind of books do she recommend? And she said, oh, Atomic Habits. And I asked her, is it worth to invest money to buy an actual book? And she's like, yeah, it's actually one of the best books she ever read.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, it's a
You
good
agree?
book.
I don't read a lot of self-help, but it's been very very nice to read, like it wasn't too hard or too dense, but there's a lot of information, good information.
Great information. Yeah, that could help you.
So one of the things I love about this book compared to like Power Habits, they give a lot of examples. You guys haven't read it.
I haven't read it.
No, I haven't read it.
They talked about like the reason why you get certain types of coupon at Target, right? When you buy stuff, they give you coupons, right? It's based off of like your habits and stuff. So they do have examples, and this book also have examples too. But I feel like the way the author basically explains everything is so simple.
More simple. Maybe like for Power of Habits, it's more complicated in a sense where they talked about like habits and human nature in ways that maybe corporation and other places take advantage of.
It's definitely the language I feel.
The language, because go ahead.
It's the way they kind of talk. Like for this one, they made it's super relatable.
Super relatable, yeah, and
Super
personal, right?
relatable and
It's
personal.
really just look your own life.
Exactly.
I want you to look into your own life
Exactly.
and make changes.
It's I think on one part of the book where it's mentioned like, oh, you want to read a little bit more, you can start with just reading one page a night.
Exactly.
And that was exactly what I was doing. I was just reading like half a chapter or one chapter a night, and that eventually makes you want to read more.
Yeah. So let's talk about the title.
Atomic Habits.
Do you want to explain or?
Yeah. So Atomic Habits, basically, an atom is small. So basically, you start with little changes. The 1%.
Start with increments.
Yeah,
basically.
increments 1% to improve upon a habit that you want to change.
Right, and I feel like a lot of us, or most of us, tend to put ourselves in a situation where our goal is so high up there that it's hard to achieve, hard to reach.
Yeah, it's hard to
away.
reach, hard to
and
gauge where you're at.
Exactly, and we feel demoralized and unmotivated because
Mm-hmm.
we're not seeing that change. But honestly, what this book is saying is, the little 1% each day, small and significant at first,
Smaller goals.
Yeah, actually builds up and actually gives you the result that you want. So that's why the Atomic Habits. That's why.
Yeah, that's why you can't be like, I'm gonna be a Twitch streamer like Pokimane.
Pokey, if you're watching.
Do you remember the example that they used for the 1%?
Yeah. Brandon, you want to kind of talk about it?
Which example? I don't remember the example.
So they mentioned this example, right? In the book.
British cycling.
Yeah,
well, that's
yeah.
what I have over here. Where, I guess I'll go explain it.
All right, you can explain
It's
it.
just like the British cycling team was like at the bottom of the tier, like the teams
yeah.
in terms of competing for the longest time. And then this dude or this coach named Dave Brailsford came in and he made just little changes each day, and like
what kind of changes? Okay.
redesigning the bike seat, or to add, you know, rubbing alcohol for better like grip on the seat, picking out the best pillows and mattresses for the athletes to sleep on to get the best rest.
They hired a surgeon to teach them how to wash their hands so they don't get sick.
Yeah, exactly. So like that small thing add up, and they're one of the best. I don't follow it, but that's what the book said.
Yeah, but it wasn't like immediate, you know, like results. It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time. Like eventually they were, you know, they're the top, but it does take time. It's not immediate.
Right.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of stocks.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you could also think about it as stocks.
Takes time to get results, rather than like,
takes time to get results.
Oh, you're talking about investment.
Investment.
long-term investments.
Long-term investment.
Yeah.
You don't want to dip out too fast.
Yeah, you
wanna get
shouldn't worry about the
cold feet.
short-term
Yeah.
market because it's unpredictable. And yeah, I kind of agree with this because like I've been doing it with coding and reading before I sleep.
Right.
Yeah, because you gotta build like increments. Because usually I don't like reading because you know it's like, oh god, I gotta read this book. It's kind of like a dread. But then over time you kind of enjoy it because like it becomes a better habit for yourself.
Right. And then you also give yourself like maybe a reward. After,
Yeah.
right? Okay, maybe I read and then I'll play some game or I'll watch some Netflix for the night. But I have to read first.
Yeah,
Because if I don't, then
it's more of like associating reward with what you need to do. That's also what the book goes through too.
Right. And
So this book basically it's like a guide, right?
A Bible of habits.
It's almost like a Bible, actually.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. But,
So yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, yeah, like Ming said, we're just gonna go through kind of the key points that we think, how to create good habits and how to break bad habits and why it forms, and then we also go into our personal life a little bit more. But one of the key points I kind of want to bring up to you guys is,
Yeah, go ahead.
he said a big part is forget about the goal and focus on the system.
Right.
Would you like to kind of talk about that?
So a lot of people set goals, right? Like I will set a goal to, let's say, clean my room, right? But then goals basically, like the mentality, the motivation fades away. Right. So let's say I set a goal to clean my room once a week, but then let's say that 1 week I'm busy, right? Or and then the week after that I'm lazy, so I haven't cleaned my room for 2-3 weeks. So it's not about the goal. The book explains it's about a system. You have to create basically a system where you kind of force yourself or condition yourself basically to clean your room once a week.
Right. So just to piggyback off that is anybody can have a goal. That's what you said, right? Yeah. Everyone could be like, I want a clean room. And you could clean up your room for the first week. However, it's difficult to clean up continuously
It's like
keep up
like
the clean room every week.
It's like more like I guess it's more like come up with a plan, right? Than the end result.
So it's the system, maybe your surrounding, or like how like I'll do this first, then
I'm gonna clean this table, clean the floors.
Yeah, or every time I eat, I'm gonna clean. Like
setting steps for yourself, right? Rather than focusing on the end result.
Yeah, so I feel like for me, that's a huge main point in the book to understand. First is get that system. It's not about the goal, like so importantly, but it's like what you do to achieve that goal. Because anybody could keep a.
Anybody can have goals. Like,
anyone can have goals.
I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah. Anybody can clean.
You have to have steps to make a lot of money.
You need the steps. You need to think about how you're going to make a lot of money. You got to think about how you're going to clean, right? You need, what does the book say? A cue.
A cue.
A cue. Something to trigger you to start cleaning your room.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
There's like cue, response, and then what? Like, no, cue, craving. No, wait. Craving, cue, response, and then result. I have it somewhere,
Yeah,
but
Cue, craving, response,
Cue,
reward.
craving, response, reward.
yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But before that, I guess we can talk about something else that the book also mentioned. They talked about identity.
Right.
Remember-
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, identity.
Identity-based change.
Yeah. Do you remember what they mentioned about identity, Brandon?
That your habits should, if you want to build better habits, you have to associate it with your identity. So if
Right.
you want to be like an athletic, then you have to associate habits that are like athletic or exercise with it. And then that would be associated with your identity. You'll be looked at as like a weightlifter or something like that.
Exactly. So yeah, basically what you said. If you want to be healthy, you look at the person that's been
You look
in
at
good-
how
good shape.
you want to be.
Yeah. And then
Exactly, yeah.
see their trait and their identity, and then kind of look at that and look at yourself and try to
Try to like shift that into your life.
Yeah.
Kind of like if you're like trying to get into photography, then you just build habits like going on photo shoots every week,
It's-
editing photos, all that.
Mhm. So it's not just the habits; it's also like the behavior and the mentality. You're changing your mentality and your behavior to that identity of what you want, your future, basically.
So what's the identity of a photographer? What you say?
The identity of a photographer, they will look at anything basically, right? And they would take photos of just one subject at different angles with different lightings, and they will play around, and it's just one, let's say one thing, right? Like one item, right? They will find ways basically to take multiple different photos of it.
So creative.
Find ways to make it look good.
Creativity. That's
Creativity. I mean, observant. What do you think? Identity of a photographer.
Looking at things from different perspective.
Okay, has a open-minded, broad view of things. Exactly. So that's what we kind of mean. That's what the book kind of means about identity.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
want to identify those and then apply it to yourself. You want to be observant. You want to be open-minded.
what's the identity of a rich person? What's their mentality like?
They're cheap.
I think it's more like
They are
I think
cheap.
it's more like for rich people, it's getting the most out of your investments.
So
Yeah.
passive income.
Yeah, passive income,
so a rich person will always think about
spending money to make money, basically.
exactly. They'll always be thinking about how to make more money, right? Like what's the next thing. But so compare that to a poor person, like their mentality is completely different.
Yeah, oftentimes the poor people actually buys like super expensive stuff.
Yeah,
to,
they
to
do.
flaunt.
They do,
But-
yeah.
This depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the poor person. If the poor
Yeah.
person aspires to be rich, then he could also have like growth mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
so
that-
what if you have two people, right? You have one person with a poor man mentality and another person with a rich man mentality. You give both of them $1 million. What do you expect is going to happen?
Poor man's gonna bet at the casino and lose all his money.
Maybe
Rich-
not everyone.
Not everyone,
not
but
everyone.
like if their mentality is shot, then they're not. They're just gonna see like that money as like a fast way to make more money, and then the rich man's gonna invest his money into like stocks for like long
Exactly.
term
The
investment.
rich man is basically going to use that money to invest to make more money. But if you give a poor person $1 million, they will just end up buying like, I don't know, whatever they want. They'll probably buy like a few cars, right?
Rich man mentality. That's like good example is like Mr. Beast,
Oh, right.
because he spends millions
Yeah,
to make his
yeah.
production.
Exactly.
He
But
also-
he's
he helps
But
a lot
he
of
makes a lot of
people
money too.
Yeah.
and helps a
Yeah.
lot of people.
But I think we've gone a little off tangent, my friend. This
Oh.
is not Rich Dad Poor Dad episode.
Yeah, this guy just wants to talk about money, bro.
I was like, wait.
As in our previous podcast, what do you care more about, money or
Yeah, I
quality
was
of
like-
work? Money.
I was like, wait, are we
Money.
talking about the same book now?
Yeah, we're talking about a different thing, dude.
This is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
It's right here.
But
Next,
yeah,
another time.
I guess we go to how to create good habits.
All right. We'll talk about how to create good habits. So, in your guys' opinion, what is good habits and what are bad habits? At least for you guys, what are some of your habits, little pet peeves?
Good habits is setting aside time to work on something, like setting
For
an hour,
Self-improvement.
self-improvement, or
Yeah.
working on this podcast.
Yeah, I would say it's good habits.
Yeah.
Bad habits will be things that are like kind of waste of time.
Yeah, my bad habit is watching YouTube before I sleep.
Yeah.
Then it fucks with my sleep.
Yeah, or like well, I look at TikTok before
Yeah,
I
yeah,
sleep.
yeah.
That's a bad habit.
And it
'cause
fucks with your sleep too. Yeah.
Just things that you do that doesn't really serve you, in a sense. Or I would say that's like bad
Things that are
habits.
like bad for you that become like an addiction too.
So, if I remember the book correctly, I think they talked about good habits as in like it's something that gears toward your identity, that the at least the identity that you want, right?
Right.
A bad habit is basically a destructive habit that kind of goes backwards.
Ah, yes, we talked about identity just now. Right.
Exactly, yeah.
So things that you do that doesn't serve you to become to for
improve.
the identity that you want.
Exactly.
Right,
so
right.
so let's say you want to have an identity of a healthy person, right? Like you want to be fit, basically. So you have you set like a system or a goal to eat healthy. You eat your meal 50% is going to be vegetables, and then a third of it's going to be protein, and then it's like another third is going to be like carbs. So low carbs, high protein. That's just an example, right? So that's just basically like your goal, like your good habit. You're making good habits of eating healthy, but the bad habits would be like, oh, you stop eating it slowly,
Or eating junk food,
or eating junk food, or
like even once in a while, but that's a bad habit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically a bad habit, right? And bad habits usually leads to your identity being, reverted back to how it was. So if you have, or you want identity basically of a healthy person, you're changing your identity, or your identity is already that of a healthy person, and you're just making a system, achieving your goal. But a bad habit is basically you're reverting back to how you were.
Right.
Right.
But that's what the book said. But that's all about how to create that good habit.
Yeah, how to
Okay,
create
okay.
it. We don't need an explanation of it.
No, you're good.
But that's good,
I just
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know how to transition, so that was my bad.
Okay.
But so going off on that,
Yeah. All right.
what did the book say to help you get into the identity that you want, to be fit or whatever, or continue it? What do they kind of point out?
They first said to make the habit like super obvious, make it simple. If it's in your sight, then it's definitely easier to see.
Right. Or another one that they mentioned is like surrounding yourself with
Yeah, creating an environment
with the people that you
people that associate with that identity.
yeah. Also that as well.
So it's like
Your personal space is very important as also.
True.
They
But
also
it's like
mentioned-
you want to have like-minded people,
Right. Yeah.
that can kind of empathize with what you want.
Yeah,
in
so
terms of your
I think the
life.
book had a little example of like if you want to be an artist or something at a college, then obviously you'll want to be at a club that has
that-
students
yeah, that
that
has students
are
that are
practicing the
associated
same
with it.
thing and trying to achieve the same thing.
And you could kind of like bounce off of that, have
Exactly.
a mentor.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
another one, okay, part 2 is make it attractive.
Oh yeah, make it
So-
attractive. Yeah. So is this the one where you kind of like associate reward with something you need to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like pair the action of something that you want to do or
Yeah. So
something you need to do, so therefore there's like it's not just
not just like all
dread,
like
but-
dread and boring.
yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
and make it easy.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, make it easy.
Make it
make it obvious. Is like obviously like if it's in your sight, that is the easiest way. You know, you'll be able to see it.
And then last, make it satisfying. Give yourself a little reward.
Yeah,
like we
give us
said,
a reward.
maybe watch a
I
little
worked
Netflix.
on a podcast, played some Halo Infinite,
play some Halo Infinite, you know.
Be some fools.
So you guys want to go through some personal examples that you adopted after reading this book? Any good habits that you mentioned coding?
Coding.
So how does that work? Make it obvious and make it.
Oh, you kind of.
How did you?
I set the the what do you call it? Like the notepad for the coding to be on my desktop, so I made it more noticeable. So
Okay.
every time I would open up my computer, I would see it and then be like, oh, should do some coding.
Right.
And after I do it for like a little bit or watch some lectures on it, then I would reward myself by playing some TFT and raging at someone who took my Kaisa.
I needed that Kaisa, dude. It's either
You
me or
son of
you.
a gun.
Dude. It's either me or you, dude.
God damn it. That's a good example. Or as like I kind of like I worked on podcasts yesterday for a bit, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna reward myself by playing some Halo,
Some games,
Play
yeah,
some games
yeah,
afterwards, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I guess I'll go for my example first. I wanted to get back into like studying Japanese again, or not forget it completely.
Uh-huh.
So I have my textbook on the side of my my desk, along with that book when I was reading it. So my good habit was I read a chapter and then I study Japanese. Then I could, whatever time I have left, I reward myself with some Netflix when everyone's basically done. And yeah, and then initially it was like one couple vocabs a day, and then I move even more because sometimes I just overwhelm myself. Like I gotta do a page, and I'm like, nah. So
Little by little. That's what.
little by little,
1%, right?
1%. Yeah.
The book did mention something kind of similar to that one, where as an example in the book, this guy, he basically just makes his bed in the morning, and then he would just put a book on his pillow. So this way, it kind of forces him to read, you know, make it obvious, you know, read a little bit before going to sleep.
Yeah. Do you have any examples, me?
I kind of have like a bad habit.
Okay.
So
I guess you want to talk about bad habit first.
It's not
then do
really.
it, or-
It's not really like a bad habit, and it's not really a good habit. But it is a habit that I noticed, and it's a recent habit too. Every time I come into the office for work, I would always get some sort of like caffeine pills, coffee. I actually brought the pre-workout to work because it has caffeine in it. So I don't take like a full scoop.
So
I
you're
take,
trying
like,
to
a full.
cut that, or what?
Well, I'm not trying to cut it, right? But I am trying to control it.
Okay.
And it is, you know, it's just, like I said, it's just a habit. Ever since, you know, I got more work, more responsibilities at work, so I kind of I don't depend on it, but
Yeah. But
it's just a habit.
okay.
That,
Did you form any like good habits after reading that book, or you want to talk about like maybe going to the gym?
Oh yeah.
Maybe you have a habit. We have a habit of that.
Oh yeah.
How do you maintain that?
Oh yeah.
or-
Since me and Alex, when we were reading this book, right, we scheduled basically like what days are specifically what days. I mean, our workout days, like what we do certain parts. We also, you know, I don't know, this book is like really motivating for us when we're
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
gym.
We're definitely
Yeah.
motivated for sure. Brandon as well,
Yeah.
even though we don't go at the same time during the weekdays, but
But you know, and what about leg day for me? You know,
I know
Oh.
you need to stay motivated on that, bro.
doesn't go ever, dude.
Hey man, I do legs, but
No, you don't. This guy does not do legs, dude.
oh, one thing I did notice, or I remembered about this book, Alex would text me about this book. He would, and he mentioned one time like, oh, you know, what caused him to go to the gym, and it's basically me telling him, hey man, we're doing chest bra,
Oh yeah, yeah.
just like the woman.
Right. I didn't really put that here because
Yeah.
there was another part of the book that I mentioned, but it's something about like a trigger.
The cue,
Yeah,
basically.
cue.
So
And-
what causes the cue? Like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
triggers
yeah. So-
the habit?
and it's actually the cue or the trigger is not as obvious as you think. I think the example that they use is this: the woman would every day she would have a habit of taking the cab and going to the gym or work or something.
Gym.
And you would think the cue is what did it say? What's the cue for her? Going to the gym? Or
No, that's the cab.
Yeah. But the book said it's not as obvious. Like
Yeah.
you would think the cue was something else. I just forget what it is.
You would think like,
But the cue is the cab. I need
yeah.
to reread that.
yeah,
but-
I forgot what it was specifically, but basically the book was saying that, you know, regardless whether she is tired or if it's like raining super hard, she would always take a cab to the gym, and as soon as she's in the cab, right, she is basically ready to go to the gym.
I think the book said people would actually guess that her cue would be putting on gym clothes. Mm-hmm. I think that was it.
I think so as well.
But he's like, no, actually it was the cab that is the cue for her. And in terms of our workout, so Ming would always like text me like whatever body part we're doing that day, like chest, bruh, and that's how I know, okay, we're going to the gym and we're going. So in a sense, I told him like, oh dude, when I was reading through that, I was like, oh, that's the cue for me, actually, you know.
yeah.
Not me putting on gym clothes after work or whatever. It's actually that
The text message.
Yeah.
It's also my way to basically just ask like, oh, is this guy still up to go to the gym?
Chest, bruh. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Dude, this guy gets so mad at me when I say where you at.
It's so outdated.
You know where home at, dude.
I just want to know where you're at. Like,
All
are
right.
you
All right.
close?
Yeah. You want to talk about bad habits now?
Yeah, let's talk
It's
about.
basically the opposite of what we said, but let's get into it a little bit.
Make it unattractive.
Okay, make it unattractive.
Make it unattractive. Like, do you want to be associated with being fat and ugly your whole life? No. So that's unattractive.
Yeah. I have something for me. It's like, okay, highlight the benefit of avoiding your bad habits. So I put mine as biting my nails.
Yeah.
Okay. So biting nails is a bad hygiene practice, and girls will not find it attractive, and it fucks up my nails. That's like my mindset. I reframe my mindset.
You used to
I've
bite
tried- I used to bite my nails a lot. Okay. Oh yeah, no. Number one, you missed. Make it invisible.
Make it invisible.
So remove the cues of your bad habits from your environment.
So if you want to stop going on
exposure.
your phone, place it in another room. or
Yeah.
something.
That's one of the example where
place it face down.
if you're studying,
No, you should place it out of sight, out of mind.
yeah, people put
Even if you place it down, face down, you're still gonna see it.
yeah, people like put their phone
On like another table or something.
yeah.
Across the room so then they can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You can't just place it face down in front of you because you could be like, oh, my phone.
So 3, make it difficult.
Yes.
So increase number of steps between you and your bad habit. So the book, I remember they're saying, in order for them to stop binge watching at night, at the end of the day, the person will remove the battery from the remote, and therefore making it a little more difficult and more annoying to
Yeah,
put
true.
in
I feel
batteries
like
every
you could do
time.
that with like making food for yourself too. If you want to stop overeating,
Right.
you probably like weigh out the food beforehand, and then you have preset meals that you could cook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meal prep.
meal prep. So then you don't like, oh shit, there's a shit ton of
Yeah,
food,
exactly.
I gotta eat it.
Yeah.
So personally, I said, well, I guess we'll go through personal examples later, but number 4 is make it unsatisfying. So get an accountability partner or create a bad habit contract for yourself, like a
Yeah.
little punishment if
That's
you,
why
right?
we're trying to make you accountable for leg day, bro. That's
So-
a bad habit to skip leg day every time we mention it.
The chicken leg.
Yeah.
Anyways, any
That's-
bad habit examples?
Let's skip some legs, boys.
That's yeah.
I know, right? You can't skip legs.
Can't skip leg day.
So Brandon, what's your bad habit example that you identified and you tried to fix?
Bad habit, YouTube before sleeping.
So how did you?
Place my phone on another table and ignore it.
Okay,
Did it work?
Yeah, and then also substitute it for reading too.
okay.
It worked for a little bit, and then I went back to it. It's hard to break. Like
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's some habits. It's like
It's so hard, dude.
it's like kind of like goes into like addiction territory.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what it's basically saying is that like this book is saying like the whole point of the identity is that like if you have an identity of a person who doesn't use their phone, right? Say I don't know, like then you'll try to have a habit of like not using your phone so much, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
true, but it's hard because like when you get into like addiction territory, it's like your mind is so used to like the endorphins activating from doing that habit so often that it's just like over time you have to gradually go into it.
I mean, it's so hard to resist like booty cheeks on TikTok, you know?
yeah.
So, okay, how about you, Ming? Guess you could go first for like your bad habit that you try to break and how you identified it after reading that book using these steps. Have you done anything like that?
I kind of have like a bad habit of like not talking to like my superiors at work. right?
Okay.
So I guess I mean it's better now, right? I actually don't have a hard time.
Because he's one of the superiors.
Yeah, I'm one of the superiors. But it's basically I just changed. Yeah, it's definitely I just changed my mentality. I just talked to them little by little. We talked about like, you know, little casual stuff here and there, and then eventually we talk about more work stuff, right? And then but it's definitely the mentality.
No, yeah, it's the
The
mentality.
identity.
That's like when I was meeting people yesterday. It's hard to initiate because your mental is like, oh, they're gonna judge me.
Yeah,
what's going on?
It's all mentality.
But in actuality, it's like everyone's probably fucking thinking that. So it's like you just gotta
yeah.
keep going. Even if they
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in my mind, basically, I was thinking, oh, I want to be one of the superiors, right? So basically, that's my identity. I identify myself like as like a higher up, and eventually, you know, all the habits that forms with it just comes naturally. Actually, yeah. and
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
I guess I'll go into mine. I have like two. So there's biting nails one, and then there's the snacks where I'm trying to kind of cut some weight or lose
The
ring right here.
little muffin top.
Yeah. So I will put away my snacks. I used to have snacks in my room. I'll just get it out of my room, put them in like a high storage area where I can't get it or I'm too lazy to.
Or you put it in like the kitchen. So you
Yeah,
have
the
to walk
kitchen.
to it.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing is that for me is make it difficult and make it unsatisfying is I have to give Ming $1 when if I rage at him at games. That's our own like personal contract thing. So like I Venmo him $1. Like
I don't even know why you even get mad at games, dude. It's just a
Because
game.
you trigger me sometimes, dude.
Yeah.
But
That's how it
it's just
is.
a game.
Well, that's the mental. To me,
Damn,
it's
dude.
just it's a game, but
but you
sometimes,
have to at
like,
least be trying.
if we lose because we're
Fucking
not
around or something.
then if we lose but we like did our best most of the time, like okay, the Apex for example, we're like the last couple squad, right? But then we lose because we got third partied or we got in
Yeah, it
intense
wasn't
fight.
our
And
fault, but if it's like-
I don't get mad if you haven't noticed. I'm like it's all, like third party.
But if it's associated with you like
But then
fucking
if it was,
around
like-
and not trying.
It was like in the beginning, and we're just like hella shit in terms of coordination,
Yeah,
or like,
yeah.
and of course I'll be like, oh come on, man, like getting wrecked like that, that's frustrating. So,
But then-
but I agree though, like
If it's like you're doing just some ridiculously stupid shit that loses us the game regardless, then it's just like rage.
also I rage at myself too because I'm like I'm so shit, but
Yeah.
in general I'm trying to break that, so I have to pay him $1 each time I rage, which adds up. Like it's $1, but it
it's
adds
a lot
up.
of
So
money.
I'm trying not to rage. So that's my way. I'm just putting it out there.
Free money for me.
Yeah, free money for him.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll treat you out with the money that you pay me.
Okay, go ahead, man.
What? I already set my example.
Oh no, well, like we're done with the bad habits. If you want to transition
Oh, I see. I see.
to
Mr. Host.
Oh, I see.
2 more points that we could just
Yeah, we could just
briefly
go
talk
through
about
that,
it. Yeah.
So, why do you guys think, in your opinion, why do like people keep good habits?
Because it helps them become a better person. Pretty much. That's pretty much like the simplified version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like helps them grow as a person and self-improvements to be healthier.
Right. And other than like quality of life stuff, is also the book explained it's actually a mastery in a sense. Like that's how you master something.
Yeah, you become so
Master a
like
skill.
if you ever build like a habit,
Yeah.
you gotta make sure, what do you call it, like is it this part where they say like you have to be like okay with boredom pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Be
Because
okay with boredom.
a lot of things that you want to build better habits are not that exciting to do,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Yeah. So for me, it's like the habit of drawing every day. People say practice makes perfect, and the practice is your habit. And unfortunately, I didn't follow that, so therefore, I wasn't making a lot of improvements.
Yeah.
And the reason why I wasn't like making that improvement, because I set like a huge goal for myself. Now I realize after reading this book is I see a lot of people's drawing on, I don't know, like DeviantArt, IG, or whatever. And I compare. I was like, dude, I wanna quickly become like that.
No,
and
but
when I
then-
don't,
Yeah.
I get so upset, discouraged, depressed.
But then you know
and
like
I just end up dropping it. I'm
Yeah.
just like, fuck it.
but
Like, I'm
you know how like we discussed in our friend group, we're like, oh, it's about the journey, not the
Yeah.
the end
So-
goal. Because like those people definitely like didn't get there overnight. That's like
yeah. So
I understand that for the art. I tried drawing too. It's,
yeah. I mean, it's a lot of practice.
it's so hard. Yeah.
yeah. So
Anything like rich people, talented people, years of practice.
exactly years of
dedication, yeah.
practice. So that's something that you put in your head where
Like it's not gonna
it's not gonna
just go
instantly
up.
Go
Yeah,
up.
it's not.
You have to
and-
make gradual
Yeah.
improvements.
Yeah, but another thing is like why it talked about why do you think people give up so easily? Why do people tend to seek, easy, accessible things, even though it could be bad for them? For example, fast food, and
I think it's more like convenience,
spending money. Like,
convenience, and also like
It's
the
definitely
effort.
convenience.
The effort to put in hard work is very deterrent for people because it's like, oh shit, this is fucking hard. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give up.
It-
It's way easier to give up than keep persisting at something.
It's definitely in terms of effort because you're basically getting a quick, satisfying, large reward for little minimum effort.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but
called-
oftentimes that's not the real prize. In a sense.
Oftentimes,
That's-
because it's harder because oftentimes you put in a lot of work, put in a lot of effort, right? But the result you get is either minimum or no results at all, right? So people tend to think like, oh, why am I even, working out? Why am I even doing this, right?
Right. Yeah. And also human nature to want something fast and instant, a boost of serotonin.
It's called food
the
for me.
fastest. Exactly. Eating junk food and all that, or like
Or just going out.
spending a
money on
check.
food.
Spending a check on stuff that gives you a
Oh yeah. It gives you
sudden
the
rush.
quick
reward that you worked for this.
Yeah, but
Quick endorphins.
But a lot of times, like, saving money is ultimately if you build it,
If you build it
it'll
up,
be
it's like what Brandon said. It's boring, right? You're building your finance, you're
Yeah.
saving,
Yeah.
but it's boring because you're not spending the money,
like,
right?
of course, you want the shoes, the car,
The shoes, the cars,
the whatever
payout, but
gadget,
it's like
yeah.
you gotta be
Yeah.
smart about your investments as well. All right, let's stop talking about rich dad, poor dad.
Okay. Next section, last section, I think.
yeah.
How to keep good habits and stay motivated.
So basically, this is the last part of the book, right? They talk about, like how the author basically keeps his good habits and how he stay motivated. But he kind of talked about that throughout the entire book.
Yeah. I think two things that he mentioned is he talked about genes. So that goes into a little biology, but he's saying like genes do not eliminate the need for hard work. They clarify it. So basically identifying what
You're good
you're
at
good at
basically
and
with
what you're born with,
Yeah.
and then use that as an advantage. So he talked about like Michael Phelps and this other Olympic track runner.
Hicham El
Yeah.
Guerrero.
They have very different body types, and therefore they're good at one sport and one's good at
That's
the
like
other.
the same thing with like Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Like,
So if you switch them, they won't have the amount of success that they have in a sense.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of like
Michael Phelps as a runner,
innate
yeah.
talent, I guess.
But ultimately, the last thing that's more important is the Goldilocks rule. Anybody want to talk about that?
I don't remember what the Goldilocks rule.
So it's basically like a graph where it's saying that the Goldilocks rule is when motivation and difficulty meet at its peak, and maximum motivation occurs when facing a challenge of just
you have to-
manageable difficulty.
You have to keep challenging
So
yourself.
therefore, you're always in that sweet spot where it's not too hard where you can't do it and you give up, but then it's just hard enough where it keeps you interested and exciting.
where you can actually like find a solution
Right.
to it.
And if you keep that zone, then you can find that steady improvement. That's what they call the Goldilocks rule, and that's how you keep good habits so you don't quit out early. Yeah.
That's yeah.
And then you must fall in love with boredom, like what you
Yes.
said. Yeah.
Boredom is a very hard thing to fall in love with. Though.
Yeah.
Like as you know, like getting used to like reading and stuff, or trying things new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. So the graph you're basically talking about is the graph that steadily goes up.
Yeah, it's a chart on motivation and difficulty. I think the XY, and yeah,
Oh, I see.
it's that sweet spot when they
Stocks.
Stocks. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh,
maybe
We should have a
Yeah.
podcast on that.
Oh boy.
'Cause I did read it.
We should just
I
talk about.
didn't read it.
We should just have a money talk.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
down.
boy.
But anything else, or Ming, take it away. Any
Nothing else. All right. So this conclude our episode on Atomic Habits book review.
What are our takeaways?
Our takeaway: read the book.
read the book.
Read the book. The book is really good.
It's Atomic Habit by James Clear.
By James Clear.
We're not sponsored or anything. Okay, just
Yeah.
we have to
Yeah.
put it out there. But
It's good.
good
Just build better habits. Make bad habits unattractive.
Yep.
Find what you identify yourself.
Find
as.
what you're good at.
And the
And
Goldilocks
be
rule,
okay with boredom because
Yeah.
boredom sucks
Yeah.
dick.
Create a system, a plan, not just a goal.
Yeah. Anybody can have a goal.
Exactly.
But who can pull through? That's the difference.
Yeah, it's the person that you identify yourself.
That's
that can pull
us.
through. All right.
Well, let us know if you like these kind of stuff,
Yeah, and then
these
we'll
kind
do
of
some
book
more.
review.
We'll read more.
We'll
Yeah.
read more. It'll
And then
benefit
we'll
us.
read more, and then eventually we're gonna make a book tier list. And
Yeah, it'll benefit
S
you
tier,
guys.
A tier,
S tier, A tier.
B tier, C tier, D tier.
Yeah.
Don't ever read again tier.
All right, that's our takeaway. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.